Hey everybody, this is Harrison with Level 1 Gaming, reviewing Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. So let's jump right in. Booting up Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer is like returning to a long-lost friend for me. With the remastered maps, amazing gunplay, great progression, and customization, I'm happy to report that Modern Warfare 3 is a ton of fun to play. But with that being said, it is a shame that there are a few issues that hold it back from being absolutely great. But let's start with the positives first. So as you log into the main menu, you've got your standard, the Persona Z experience, Kuk Pia. Then from there, we got the, we already covered this, but the W Kampan. Then we got the TEAM-E match, new for W ARM-E, and then you got MB. So beginning a match, you and your squad mates arrive to the match via convoy ambush, helicopter rappelling, basically something pretty cool and fun to watch. These intros do a great job of getting you in the mood for a Call of Duty match, and right off the bat, as you sprint out, the movement in this game feels so sleek and fluid. The gunplay is snappy, it's responsive, and it's great at giving you feedback. And playing on these familiar maps as somebody that played these, the original ones so many years ago, feels great with all these new changes in guns and perks added to them. In addition, the customization and feeling of progression is once again fantastic and unmatched. There is an overwhelming number of weapons, attachments, gadgets, vests, gear that you could toy with for hours to create different loadouts. And the perk system here has been somewhat replaced with what they call gear now, so you've got stuff like vests that provide faster sprinting, gloves that give you faster reloading, and I personally welcome these changes as it splits up the perks into more broad categories, which allow for, in my opinion, more loadout customization. Along with that, you are constantly fed rewards for XP for literally doing anything. There's guitar riffs that play when you do certain things. There's other noises that play. And, all of these has been scientifically designed to just keep all of your dopamine receptors triggering constantly, keeping you engaged in the game. And it does a really good job. And to speak a little more on weapon customization, there's so much of it. The camos here are usually pretty cool. They're usually decently easy to unlock, and there's so much customization that you can do for a gun that you can really tailor it to yourself and to your own liking, and you and another person can have the same gun, but it can be completely and totally different weapons for different scenarios, and that is a really cool thing to do. And I know that we saw this in Modern Warfare 2, and this system is back, but I think it's been upgraded towards even better now. So something else here that's really surprised me and is really great in this game is the zombies mode. In previous games, I always enjoyed the zombies mode, but they wouldn't be a reason that I would argue that somebody should buy a game. But weirdly here, I found this kind of relaxing and calming. I don't know what that says about me, but zombies this time around is very similar to Warzone's DMZ component. Except here it's only PvE, and this feature is honestly really welcome. So you and 23 other players are dropped into the zombified map and must scavenge for supplies, complete contracts, ambush convoys, infiltrate strongholds, and then exfil a specific location that you choose. Again, much like DMZ. But because there's no PvP here, most players I encountered were very friendly, helpful, and just there to mostly have a good time. The stakes in this mode are really what you make of it, so a lot of players are more than happy to help you out. My favorite memory was the time I heard a group of folks hollering as I drove by them, and I was in a truck and they said their vehicle ran out of gas and asked me if I could drive them to the nearest gas station. 10 out of 10 experience, would definitely recommend that. Zombies mode is also the ultimate old man get off my lawn simulator, as I personally found it super chill to just prop up in a water tower and snipe every zombie within a square mile of myself. The zombies mode also allows for some great emergent and dynamic gameplay moments, such as here where I happen to hear some gunfire to the left of me and look over and see a player getting chased by a bunch of zombies, and I can just, very poorly try to cover him with my sniper rifle from far away. So the big pull for the zombies mode is that any weapons or special gear you extract with, you can then insert with next time you go to take on a mission, which adds a nice flavor of risk to each insertion. And again, like I said, kind of lets you tailor the difficulty to your own liking. And pro tip, you can unlock weapons in multiplayer by extracting them in zombies. So I definitely spent a couple hours just hopping in with 0 gear, and then every time I found 2 new weapons, immediately booking it to an exfil site and just getting out of there and unlocking weapons. It's a great way to do that. And Zombies still retains all the classic things you expect from the Zombies mode, such as being able to pack-a-punch weapons and all the perks. The main thing being here is that as you move further into the center of the map, the more difficult zombies become.
So outside the area in the low threat areas, the wide areas that you see, zombies are pretty easy to kill with any basic weapon. If you want to head closer to the center, you start finding level 2 and level 3 zombies, and to really effectively fight those, you need to pack a punch your weapons. Alright, we'll move on from the zombies mode. I've been talking about that a lot, I know. So last thing I want to give this game really big kudos for is keeping split screen alive. Sometimes you just want to kick it back old school with your friends and enjoy COD like it's 2007 and play on the same couch together. This really feels like a relic from a bygone era, and I'm super appreciative of it. Great parts. Also, spoilers for The Boys Season 47 just happened. Apologies. Anyways, let's talk about the not so great parts about this game. The first we'll talk about is the skill-based matchmaking. There's a lot of chatter regarding skill-based matchmaking, and I can only offer my personal experience on the matter. But with that being said, this game is currently a non-stop sweat fest. In my first couple of matches, I rocked a solid, anywhere from 1.1 KDR to a 0.9. But after playing my first hour, I was constantly placed into matches with people who were doing 720 kickflips, pistol sliding around corners, backflip headshots, and were already somehow levels 50 levels higher than I was. Now this might be because it's simply the launch of the game, and the skill-based matchmaking system is still trying to learn where to put players, but I really hope this is resolved because as of right now, there is no casually playing Modern Warfare 3, and that is a shame. The closest anecdote I can offer here is the way that Halo Infinite does skill-based matchmaking. In that game, the skill-based matchmaking is much more focused on your wins versus losses. So you might be on a team with somebody that's going to go, 27-4. The next person's going to go 8-5. The next couple people might go 3-7. So you have a good mix of people on the team. And however, Modern Warfare 3 really feels like, cool, your kill death ratio is 1.1, yours is 1.1, yours is 1.1. Let's put all of you on the same match. And like I said, that really is a shame because it's currently hurting the fun value, and sometimes it's nice to just relax and play a game of Modern Warfare 3, but in current state, that's not really the case. But again, your mileage may vary, and I think this is something that'll get fixed as we move further along, hopefully. And that leads us into talking about the time to kill / desync issues. The time to kill here has been increased for Modern Warfare 2, but it doesn't feel like that all the time. In probably 75% of my matches, enemies always felt like they would take 12 bullets to kill, and I personally would only take 1 hit to kill. And you can watch the replay and it'll show something completely different than what actually happened on my end. The current desync problem is really unfortunate. In the current state, time to kill somehow simultaneously feels too slow, but also too fast. And like I said, it is a shame because when the game is performing properly, it feels great. And in those matches, I can say, oh yeah, I definitely got outplayed there. Or, even though we lost, it felt fair and fun. And let's talk about the spawns. And I'm just going to run a few clips of bad spawns for you here in the background. But man, there's no white way of putting this. The spawns are in a really bad state right now. There's no such thing as map control, as you'll spawn on your team's side of the map, takes 5 steps forward, and an enemy will have spawned behind you. And because movement is so much faster in the original Modern Warfare 2, this might be because remastered maps might be ill-suited to the new speed. But I'll show you a clip right here where I spawn on this one spot, take 10 steps up these stairs, and immediately get shot from somebody behind me. So let's spawn at the same spot. I spawn right behind where that dude just spawned to kill me, and am able to kill the guy that just killed us. Then I get shot in the back because somebody spawned again in the spot behind me, and it's just like Inception for bad spawns. I mean, I've spawned on top of objectives, I've spawned in plain sight of an enemy, as they're sprinting towards me. I've spawned behind multiple people a couple times so I could get a multi-kill. It's an absolute mess right now, and it really detracts from the overall fun element of the game. Especially in game modes such as, Invasion, where you're supposed to have 2 different sides of a map. It's really a mess. And don't even play Hardpoint right now until this is fixed, because Hardpoint spawns are extremely bad right now. And from there, we'll talk about weapon balance. Assault rifles and battle rifles are pretty much the only weapons you should be using right now. Especially over something like SMGs or even shotguns. Assault and battle rifles are just so far advanced here. I don't know if it's because of the time to kill that's off right now or the desync issues that are happening. But, I usually try to use DMRs in most games, like marksman rifles, and I've shot multiple people in the back a couple times for them to turn around and hit me a couple times with an assault rifle, and I die just because they can put more bullets on me faster than I can them. I hope that as the game goes on, these weapons can become more normally balanced, but as of right now, assault rifles and battle rifles are pretty much the only thing that you should be using. One other tiny little weird gripe I have is that the end of match XP overview is agonizingly slow. Like most games, Modern Warfare 3 shows you all your progression after a match like you're seeing. However, it's so slow and you can't hit A to skip through each individual item you've unlocked. You can only hold down a button to skip all of it one time. And it takes so long to show that by the time it's done, you're already loading in the next match and haven't gotten a chance to edit your current loadout. So your only options are to just completely skip through it all and go check your weapons and hope and pray that you've unlocked something. Like I said, it's a small gripe, but it's a really annoying thing that kept popping up. And then speaking of slightly annoying, this game's UI, without being hyperbolic, I do think it's the worst UI of any game I've played in the past few years. It's all menus within menus within menus. Nothing is a simple button press to figure out. It's extremely cluttered. It's hard to navigate. Sure, you can get used to it, but it drastically needs an overhaul. An example of this I'll give you is that, when I booted up the game to play the campaign for the first time, I had to watch a 2-minute long cutscene about the season event that was going on right now. Then it showed me the battle pass screen, and then it took me to the store. So I had to click out at least 3 or 4 times to even go back to the main menu. And then when you click on the main menu, click Modern Warfare 3, it then has to launch the Modern Warfare 3 application, load into that. And if you want to do the campaign, it launches a separate application to load into for that. And the Call of Duty launch right now is just kind of a mess, and it really needs an overhaul to make it more user-friendly. Another gripe I have, and just for people to be aware for the content that's in the game, this game only contains the remastered Modern Warfare 2 maps, nothing more. And, War Mode, my personal favorite mode, for some reason only has 1 map in rotation for it, which is kind of criminal. So if you're a big fan of the bigger maps for Invasion or War, just be aware that there's very few maps for these. And I know the developers have said that they want to put some more maps into rotation after a couple weeks after launch, but that remains to be seen. But just so you know right now, there's only 16 maps in the game. The last thing, and I've seen a lot of discussion about, is the new weapon unlock system. Sure, you can unlock weapons via progression like the old times, but some are unlocked via daily challenges. For example, unlocking Semtex grenades requires you to get 2 kills with Semtex, but you haven't unlocked Semtex yet, so you have to use one specific pre-put together loadout to do that. It just seems a little odd. So as you do these daily challenges, most of them are pretty easy, such as like kill 5 people with a shotgun, get 3 kills while crouched. Again, not very hard. But as you get further into them, as you complete all of them, you get your last daily challenges that repeat, which are just win a match, win a match, win a match. People can discuss whether that's right or wrong, but the problem right now is that none of the challenges are tracking. I've been playing this game since it launched, so 5 or 6 days, and I've only had 1 challenge correctly tracked that entire time. Sledgehammer has acknowledged that this is a problem they're working on, but in the meantime, it's very frustrating as some players are having their challenges progress normally, so there's a lopsided in the player base right now where a lot of people have a ton of gear and a lot of other players don't have gear just because the challenges aren't tracking, which is pretty frustrating. Alright, so I know it sounds like I've been crazy negative on the game, but I just want to inform everybody of what you're getting into here. Every problem I've mentioned I don't think is a fundamentally game-breaking flaw. Everything I've mentioned is fixable, and it's not something that I foresee will stay broken forever. And when the game is functioning properly, it is truly amazing. I think it's the best gameplay of any COD in the modern era. And when we look at it from its current state it's in and the value proposition, I have to say wait for a sale. With the limited number of maps, the bugs that are going on right now, the spawns being a mess, challenges not tracking, Black Friday is just around the corner. And I would definitely recommend picking up the game if it drops, 10 or 15% of its price. But until then, I don't think that this game is currently worth $70 for only getting essentially 16 maps and a really bad campaign mode. Sure, the zombies mode I think is great, but it's really hard to justify spending $70 on this game in its current state. And that'll wrap up this review. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff for Level 1 Gaming. My name's Harrison, and we'll see you next time.